Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Esteban Wilder. I'm partner at Infobal. I want to thank you all for joining this webinar. Now Adrian will take control of the presentation. He will show a very practical tool to update exchange rates in SAP. After finishing his presentation, he will do a live demo. And in case you have questions, you can write them. And after finishing this presentation, we will answer the questions. So Adrian, feel free to start. Thank you very much.
Who we are? We are a SAP consulting company specialized in NFI module and also in ABAP development. And what we usually do is to provide solutions in the FI module for SAP. This is for several countries in the whole world. Usually what we do is to provide SAP consulting, also training, and some specific solutions, always for the financial module in SAP. We have several solutions already developed for many customers worldwide, and today what we are going to see is the last solution that we see in this column, which is for updating all the exchange rates automatically in SAP with standard SAP customizing. We have more than 130 customers worldwide. Some of them are here. Maybe you know some of them. We have also another large number of customers who are maybe smaller than the customers before, also in several countries, some of them with consulting solutions, some others for training solutions, and some others for this solution for updating the exchange rates automatically. In the last 2 years, we acquired all of these customers worldwide, so we had a lot of implementations for our solutions. We have customers in 16, 17 countries. So you see some of these countries where we have our solutions implemented. Although our headquarters are in Argentina, we have many customers in different countries, always being here for the solutions. We have here our offices and we give the solutions from a remote way from our offices in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Well, we'll go specific to our solutions for updating the exchange rates automatically. These solutions has more or 3 years already that we developed it. And when we thought on these solutions, we have some goals in order to develop it. The first goal was to update automatically the exchange rates in the transaction OB08. For sure you know the transaction OB08. This is the standard transaction for SAP where you enter all the different exchange rates for the different currencies. And our idea was to automate this transaction so that our customers do not have to depend on a single person for entering this specific information for every country. Another of the goals, which was one of the most important, was to use standard SAP customizing and not to use any SAP ABAP development. So by searching into the customizing, we found a transaction, which is the TBD4 transaction. And this transaction allows SAP to connect to the internet to get all the exchange rates somewhere, and based on this to populate the table TCURR, which is the table that we see in transaction OB08. So what we did is a development that is based on the internet in the United States with Amazon Web Services, in which we obtain every single hour during the whole day all the exchange rates from more than 70 banks worldwide. We store this information on a database in a specific format for being read from the transaction TBD4. So our customers connect mostly once a day via TBD4 to our site. They obtain the information, and the standard transaction TBD4 populates automatically the table TCURR, which is the table that we see in transaction OB08. Another of our goals was to have reliable information. That's why we use always information from the official sources for every country. This is most of the cases the central banks that we have in every country for where we obtain all the official exchange rates for the local currency against the other currencies. Also to access to have data in real time. That's why during the whole day we get and we take the information and we store it in a database to have it available for our customers. And what all our customers ask us, to have a reliable price for this. So let's see how it works. First of all, we have to do the customizing, which is really very simple. We will see it later, how to perform it. And once the customizing is done, what we do is to schedule a job that connects once a day against our website. Once you connect it to the website, we look to the different exchange rates that we already obtained from the different central banks worldwide. We return this information to SAP with the standard transaction TBD4, and this transaction populates the table TCURR. You will see after this an entry in the OB08 transaction, like if you have done this entry manually in the OB08. This is the screen for the TBD4 transaction that is being executed as a variant every night automatically with a job. First of all, we define which currencies do you need to update, which is the exchange rate type, if it is a direct or an indirect quotation, and which is the time in which we schedule the job. Once you execute the transaction automatically, you will receive a report like this one. In this report, you can see all the exchange rates that have been updated and which is the value that has this exchange rate specifically being populated in transaction OB08. This is the current value for each currency. You see here, for an example, we have an exchange rate of Argentine pesos to US dollar, or 44 pesos with 97 cents. If at the same time I look to the official website for Argentina, I can see that the value is the same. And this value is being populated automatically in transaction OB08. So the same value that you see on the website is being entered automatically in SAP for this specific exchange rate. Also, what we can do with standard SAP transaction is to send by email the result of this execution. Since mostly this report is being executed during the night, once the process is being executed, we can send an email with an attachment, and the attachment would be the result of the transaction, of the execution, so the user, and the next day when he comes to work, he can see which was the result of the execution, and he can see all the exchange rates that have been entered instead of entering the OB08 transaction to look to the values. So he will have in his email the result of execution to see it in detail. We have up to now more than 70 banks worldwide already integrated to our solution, and you can see here for the different countries that we already included, which are the sources that we have already developed. I see here most of you attending this webinar are from India, United States, and Australia. And so you can see for the different countries that we have already the banks developed that from which we obtain all the exchange rates during the whole day. Also, we are developing at this time other banks, but these are the banks for these countries that we have already developed at this time. Advantages of the solution: we update automatically all the exchange rates in transaction OV08. The same execution updates all the exchange rate at the same time. If you need to update 10 different exchange rates, you do not need to run the transaction 10 times. You just run the transaction one time and it updates all the available exchange rates that you need. It's always based in the official sources for every country. And one of the most important things, we use standard SAP customizing for this. You will not need any ABAP development for implementing our solution. And you will get an email automatically sent by SAP with the exchange rates that have been entered. And also, we offer to our customers to include us as Infoaval, as our company, in the distribution list for this email to see if the whole process was executed correctly, or maybe if you need any assistance in the execution of the job. The idea is to be with you executing this transaction always, to see if you have any assistance in case of, for example, if one bank is not available, or if you have any problems to connect to the internet. Regarding the technical side, you will get always an execution log of the process. This is a job that you define with a daily repetition in the transaction SM36. We use standard SAP customizing and no ABAP development. And the most important thing is that this solution is hosted in United States. It's hosted with Amazon Web Services. So it is available 100% of the time. For the new users, for the companies that want to know the tool to see how it works, what do we offer? We offer you 90 days of free testing this solution. So in these 90 days, you can see in detail how the solution works. We can implement it to you with no cost in the customizing, so you can update in your company the different exchange rates that you need. You can test it for 90 days totally free. This can be done in the development system and the quality assurance system, or in the production system. This is where you want. The idea is that you test the solution, that you analyze it, and that you can be sure that this solution fulfills all the requirements that you have for automating a process that maybe you are doing manually today. The configuration takes really a very short time. Normally, it takes between 1 to 4 hours. What we do first is to send you an Excel file where you have to enter all the currencies that you need to update. From which currency to which currency, which is the specific exchange rate type, and the source. And based on that, we do the customizing together. Or if you want, we can send you a Word document where the detail of every step to the customizing is there. So you can reproduce the customizing in case you would like to do it by your own. Here you have a comparison for updating one currency manually or for updating all the currencies automatically. This is an analysis that we did at different customers by evaluating the time that it takes for a specific currency to do it manually. You can see, for example, for one currency, it takes an average time of half a minute, just for one currency. But in case you would like to automate all currencies that you need, you would take only 10 seconds. So it takes much less time to automate the process than to entering all the values manually. And for sure, you will be sure that the values that you enter are the accurate values, the values that you are automating by entering this in our solution. And I will send you later, if you want, this presentation, and you can see here which are the differences for each step between entering the values manually or automating the process. If you use just the OB08, you have to enter the values one by one. If you use our solutions, all the values are being entered automatically. In OB08, maybe the user can enter the data with an error, and with our solution, you are having the same value that is being published on the website. If you use OB08, it could be that the user is sick or is coming late or is in vacation and the value is not being entered. With our solution, the process runs every day and it automates every entry. And there is no standard report of the OB08 to having in your email all the values that have been entered on a single day. With our solution, you will receive the result of the TBD4 transaction, and there you have all the values that have been entered automatically. So you see a lot of advantages for having this solution automated in SAP. And you can see here some of our customers using our solutions. We have at this moment around 100 customers worldwide using our solution, and we have many of them in Latin America. And you can see, for example, in India, we have Kiva, which is in the second column, is the sixth one, the sixth in the list. In the second column, this is a company in India that is using our solution, and we have it also in other countries, mostly in Latin America, Europe, and also in United States. But we are also publishing this solution worldwide. So in this time, we are also in projects in other customers that are not yet in production, but are still implementing our solution and are in the period of the free testing of it. And here you can see the opinions of some of our customers that are already using our solution for years. We have customers that are in the third year of using this solution, and every customer that contracted the service is still working with us every time that they renew the service every year. And every company that tested the solution for 90 days later got the service for updating the data automatically. What I will do now is to enter to an SAP system, and I will show you how the solution works. What I will do is to enter now to the TBD4 transaction. This is the transaction that is being executed with a small parameters, like here the name of the customizing that we did, and here I will inform the different exchange rates that we will upload. Maybe you will see now an error message because we are doing a new customizing for a new country, but you will see the result maybe in 10, 15 seconds of all the currencies that have been updated in this system. You can see here we have more than 3 different currencies that were updated automatically. I will show you, for example, you can see here we have a value from Argentine pesos to euros, which is 50.1668. If I go to the official website from Argentina, I can see here the values, and these are the same values that are available in the report. So you can check every value here against the value that is on the website. The most important thing is at the bottom of the report. In the bottom of the report, you will have the result for all the currencies. So you will see here 337 different currencies were updated successfully. There was one warning, maybe because there was a tolerance over a 2% in the exchange rate now from a previous day, and there are 3 that are not available at this moment. But so you can see maybe in 15 or 20 seconds, more than 300 different currencies were updated automatically, and all these currencies were updated in transaction OB08. If I look, for example, for a specific exchange rate from one currency to another currency, I can see now the different values that have been entered every day, since this process is automated in this system, for every single currency. And this is the same that you have here in the report for every different exchange rate that you are updating. So this was the first goal, to show you the presentation and to show you how the system works. Do you have any questions? Do you want me to see something, to show you something again?
This is Esteban. I will read some questions that we are having. I will read some questions. The first one is, does it have any limitation in the version of SAP? Does it work for S4 HANA?
So there is one question here asking if there is any limitation of the versions of SAP. There is no limitations. This works with the version 4.7 or higher. We have customers in version 4.7, customers in version 5, customers in version 6, and also customers in S4HANA. So different versions are already working with our solution.
Yes, you said that the customizing takes between 1 and 4 hours. Does it have a cost to do this customizing?
The customizing is free of cost. It has no cost to perform the customizing. We do the customizing together with our users. This can be done in a remote session, or what we can do is to send you a Word document in order so you can follow all the steps for reproducing the customizing.
In the period where we can try for 30 days or 90 days, can we update also our production system?
Yes, this can be done in the development system. The test can be performed in the quality assurance system, or it can be performed in the production system. Where you feel better to test it, you can do it. Usually, we recommend to test it first for 2 or 3 days in your development system. Then to send it to your quality assurance system and test it there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And once the solution is okay, you are updating every exchange rate that you want, you can continue with your test in your production system. For us, there is no limitation. You can test it where you really want.
Okay, here someone is asking how is it working with HTTP? I can answer your question. It works whether with HTTP or HTTPS. If it works, if you want to make the connection with HTTPS, you have to upload a certificate in transaction S Trust. We have many documentation that explains how to do this procedure. It's really, really easy. Okay, we have here another question that says that there were some warnings in while you were updating the rates. Can you please explain what were those warnings, please? Thank you.
Yes, we can set up warnings here in the solution. The warnings are deviations. Why we use that? We can set up a deviation. Usually we set up it on a 2%. For example, if the rate from today differs in plus or in minus with 2% with the rate that has been entered yesterday, the value is being populated in the table TCURR, but you will see it here as a warning with a yellow color in the report. So you can pay specific attention for this case. We can set up this tolerance or not. This depends on every implementation. What we usually suggest is, yes, to have this deviation implemented, usually in order of 2%. In case there is a higher deviation than the 2% with a difference of 1 day, you will see it here on the report as a warning.
Okay, someone is asking here if they required the data source any customized settings. So Adrian, if you can please show the customizing, where do you customize the exchange rates? Thank you.
I will show you here how the customizing is being performed for a specific currency. We go under financial supply chain management, cash and liquidity management, cash management, market data, data feed, translation table, and then define currencies. Here in define currencies, what we do is to have the definition of every pair of currencies that we have to update. For example, from Argentine pesos to euros, here the different currencies, here we store the deviation, and the most important thing is here the instrument. This is the data that we provide you to get the information about the specific rate that needs to be updated. So that's the most important part of the customizing.
Okay, thank you very much. Someone asked here if what happens if they need a bank that is not included in your list. A bank.
If you need a bank that we do not have up to now, what we have to do is first send us by email the data of this bank, which is the bank and which is the URL for this bank, and we will see first technically if it is possible to obtain the information from this bank. If it is technically possible, we have to send you a quotation for doing this development. It depends on every single bank how difficult or not it is to obtain the information. So based on that, we can do an estimation send you a specific quotation for obtaining the data for a new specific bank that you would need.
Okay, this is the last questions here. Many attendants are interested in in trying the system. How does it work to try this system?
If you would like to participate in the 90 days of the free testing, just feel free to contact me to any of these ways, just by sending an email or by calling me, and we can do together the setup so you can start your free testing when you want. So there are no restrictions for this. For these 90 days, you do not have to pay nothing. So you can feel free to test it when you want in your development system, your quality assurance system, or in your production system.
Okay, all the questions are answered from my side. We have no more questions, and I would like to thank you all for joining this webinar.
All right, thank you very much, and feel free to contact us for any additional questions you may have or for starting your period of free testing for 90 days. Thanks very much, and you are welcome to contact us for anything you would need. Bye.